Thinking of moving to Oklahoma City? Maybe you're also considering Dallas, and a nice comparison of the two cities would be helpful. Well, in this video, it's exactly what we're talking about, and it's going to start right now. Thank you so much for joining us here today. So I was talking to a friend recently, and he was actually quite surprised to learn how close Dallas is to Oklahoma City. And it made me think, I'm sure there are a lot of other people who aren't aware that Dallas is actually just a quick 3-hour drive right down I-35 south from Oklahoma City. Now, growing up here in Oklahoma City as a teenager and getting my driver's license in the 90s.
The 90s?
Yeah, the 90s. It seemed like all my favorite bands were just skipping right over Oklahoma City, and the closest city seemed to always be Dallas, so many a road trip was taken. And not gonna lie, I always sort of considered Dallas the older, cool big brother to Oklahoma City, and so I thought it might be possible that some of you may be considering moving to a city here in the South.
Is OKC in the South? Or is it Southwest? Or is it Midwest? Did I leave the oven on? Does dairy really upset your stomach?
Which is exactly why today we're going to discuss 7 ways that Oklahoma City is different from Dallas. And then maybe you can decide which makes the most sense for you. Now, with that said, if you're thinking about moving to the Oklahoma City area, whether in the next 3 weeks or 3 months from now, we would absolutely love the opportunity to help you make a smooth move here to the OKC area. All of our contact information you're going to find in the description below, so feel free to shoot us a call, a text, or an email. We'll always get right back to you and help you buy that perfect home here in the Oklahoma City area. Now, some of you may be thinking, how did I come up with 7 ways OKC is different than Dallas? Well, that's pretty easy. O is the 15th letter of the alphabet.
D is the 4th letter of the alphabet. Now, when you take 15 and you subtract 4, you end up with 11.
Now, from there, when you take 11 and you divide it by 2, you end up with 5.5.
And once you have 5.5, you can really pretty easily
Exactly
get
why
to...
today we're going to discuss 7 ways OKC is different from Dallas. Let's get into it. Now, the first topic to compare these two cities is the median home values between Oklahoma City and Dallas. The median home price throughout the entire Oklahoma City metro is just under $250,000, right around $242,000. Whereas in Dallas, the median home price is closer to $400,000. Probably not terribly surprising. Dallas is a much larger city, but that is of course a very substantial difference. You're gonna spend a lot more money in Dallas buying a home. Now, since we're talking about buying a home, we might as well talk about the second topic for comparison, which is property taxes. In Oklahoma City, you're going to pay an effective property tax rate of 0.87%. In Dallas County, that's going to be substantially higher with an effective property tax rate of 2.18%. Now, to Dallas's credit, the state of Texas does not have a state income tax, and you are certainly going to pay a state income tax in Oklahoma. But once again, that property tax in Dallas is about 3 times what you're going to pay in Oklahoma City. Okay, now the third thing I'd like to compare between these cities is the population. Did I mention that Dallas always seemed like a bigger brother? Well, it's substantially bigger, and I mean that in terms of population. In Dallas proper, there are 1.3 million people, and throughout all of Dallas County, there's closer to 2.5 million. If you're looking at Oklahoma City proper, we have right around 700,000. And all throughout the OKC metro, we have right at 1.4 million. Now back to Dallas, if you've been to the city of Dallas, you're probably aware that it's very close to Fort Worth. In fact, that's why they refer to it as DFW. Looking at the population throughout all of the Dallas-Fort Worth area is almost 8 million people, or 7.75 million to be exact. Alright, so number 4 for comparison would be the difference in the cost of living. On average, it's going to cost 19% more for someone to live in Dallas versus Oklahoma City. So in Oklahoma City, you're going to spend 6% less money on food, you'll spend 23% less on entertainment, and on average, you'll save about 10% on healthcare. Alright, so that's great, we got statistics and all these percentages or whatever, but what does that mean in practical terms? Well, for a good round number, let's pretend somebody makes $50,000 in Dallas. For them to have the same standard of living in Oklahoma City, they'd have to make just over $40,000. And look, I'm no math whiz, and I know a couple of you are, so correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments. I know you will. So that leads us pretty nicely into the number 5 comparable topic, which is basic economy. Here in Oklahoma City, the median household income is just over $56,000. In Dallas, the median household income is just under $55,000. Now, to be honest, looking at those numbers, they were a little bit all over the place depending on where I was looking. But the one thing that was consistent is, to be honest, those numbers are actually pretty close. So at the end of the day, that kind of brings you back to the cost of living metric. Now, as far as unemployment, here in Oklahoma Oklahoma City, the unemployment rate is 3.1%, whereas in Dallas, unemployment is right at 3.5%, which is right at the national average. So neither are too bad, but Oklahoma has the edge on just a slightly lower unemployment number. Coming in for the number 6 topic for comparison, and that is the weather. Now, apologies in advance, this isn't any more interesting in terms of comparison, but the weather's pretty similar in both places. Both Oklahoma City and Dallas can have pretty hot summers. I'll probably give the edge to Dallas with a little bit hotter summers. Both can get pretty cold in the winters. I'd say Oklahoma City probably has the edge in terms of a few more snows, and both cities can get these kind of weird freezing rain, ice storms. Now, Oklahoma in general seems to get the bad rap when it comes to tornadoes, but truthfully, the frequency of tornadoes is pretty similar between Dallas and Oklahoma City, except only one of our states was a film location for the movie Twister, and it ain't Texas. But overall, the weather's pretty similar in both places, so really not going to be a deal breaker either way. All right, the number 7 topic for comparison between OKC and Dallas is drivers. Now, I don't know if you've ever driven into the state of Texas, or perhaps you're a fan of comedy. You may have seen the sign that famously reads, "Drive friendly, the Texas way." Listen, Texas, I don't know what the you think friendly is, but this whipping all over the road with no regard for the other drivers is horse. All jokes aside, the difference of driving in Dallas and Oklahoma City is not in the same league. It might not even be the same sport, to be honest. In fact, those of you who have driven in Dallas, if you've had the same experience, I'd love to know. Comment down below, because it can get a little bit crazy. So from my personal experience, I'll say that Oklahoma City and Dallas are both great cities. As I said before, Dallas was that next big city that I could change my surroundings and go catch things like concerts that wouldn't come here, or better shopping, and just a bigger city in general that had more entertainment options. But I'm not sure I can say the same about that anymore. To be honest, Oklahoma City has grown so much over the last 20 years, it's almost unrecognizable. I mean, in 2023, if you're looking for entertainment districts, you can go to the Plaza District, Bricktown, Midtown, Uptown 23rd, the Paseo Arts District, the Boathouse District. It just goes on and on. But I'm always grateful to have that big brother 3 hours down I-35 South when I'm just itching for a road trip. If you enjoyed this video today, please smash the thumbs up button and consider subscribing if you like content like this. Tap the bell for notifications so that you know every time we drop a new video. If you haven't yet got enough Oklahoma City, I've prepared this video for you right here. And guys, as always, I certainly hope to see you soon.